Can you imagine a world where everyone looked the same and there was no diversity? After doing countless research, I have learned that human cloning would bring more conflict than benefits to society. There are three main points to believe why human cloning is wrong. Human cloning would make the population lack genetic diversity and cause identity crises. It would diminish the value of life and a family, and it is unethical to the law of nature and religion. As I stated before, human cloning would make the population lack genetic diversity and cause identity crises. According to an article, 10 Reasons Why Human Cloning is Bad for Society at Large, cloning would make the population very similar, if not identical. We would have the same genetic makeup as well as physical features, making it easier for diseases to spread and harder for us to get rid of them. Many doctors believe that this is one of the highest risks to cloning, especially if we were to use cloning to build armies or other large populations. Doctors also say there is no money in this industry. Right now, the only cloning that is being produced right now is pets, and it's a minimal cost of $100,000 to have your pet cloned. There are many practices in the livestock area where people clone livestock and racehorses. Cloning racehorses is the larger matter, which it's actually illegal to clone racehorses and use them in races. Being the same person as others would also make a huge impact on your social identity, says Dr. Trey, who wrote Human Cloning, Pros and Cons. There would be many problems trying to make yourself stand out and be different. As we see today, many teens struggle with finding their identity, so imagine in the future when we would all look the same, how hard it would be. Human cloning not only affects people, but the purpose and value of life. It's sad to think that parents would clone themselves or others to have desired traits or perfect children. Cloning would disrupt human relationships and separate reproduction from love. Human cloning would disrupt the natural human instincts as well. Like I said before, cloning will change the elements of loving and caring for a child and accepting them for who they are. People would also abuse the idea. People wouldn't be as emotional if their child did die at birth or from other complications, because they can just clone another one and produce the same child again. There would also be no effort to look for a partner, or there would be no effort to look for a partner because everyone will look the same and there's no diversity. Human cloning is also unethical and against the law of nature and religion. Cloning disrupts the law of nature, the law of natural selection, and human instincts as well. Cloning would also cause overpopulation and the abuse of natural resources. Studying religion, people would be assuming the role of God, and they would be also creating things that God has gifted us, which is life itself, says Cass and Wilson, who wrote The Ethic of Human Cloning. Human cloning is also abuse of stewardship, which God gave us. In the future, it would be wise to abandon the process of human cloning because we will abuse it in the future. Since you have seen how human cloning would make the population lack genetic diversity and cause identity crises, and how it would diminish the value of life and a family, and how it's unethical to the law of nature and religion, we can come to the conclusion that human cloning would be destructive to mankind. So when you think human cloning has great outcomes, think of all the conflicts that I have stated to you today and support the decision that human cloning would destroy mankind for good.